If we're talking about clicks, you want to be somewhere between 5 and 50 cents on Facebook. Instagram is going to be more expensive because it's not really a click-through platform. It's more of an awareness platform. So in the last video, we talked about building your audience off of lookalikes from the people who watch 70% of your video or even more. So now I want to talk about what you're going to do with that audience, okay? And this is just what I have found to be one of the best ways to run ads, but how a lot of other people feel is one of the best ways to run ads. Now, there is an art to it, and there is a lot of testing to figure out what's precisely the best for you. So this is a little bit more tricky, so bear with me here. So you've got your audience that you've put together. That's informed, that's a lookalike audience, it's data-driven, it's updating regularly, everything a guy could want, right? Cool. So now what you're gonna do is you're going to A, B, and C test off of that audience, okay? This is very straightforward. You're basically going to set up a general campaign on your Facebook ads for engagement, right? Or traffic, whichever you want to do. Engagement tends to result in fewer clicks, but a higher ROI, because it has a higher click-through rate, because you're targeting people who are actually buying. You set that up, you get your audience, and now you're gonna A, B, and C test with content. Ideally, this will be something like 3 separate music videos, 3 great live shots to promote a show or something. Video, broadly speaking, is the better option. And so you're going to A, B, and C test, and you do this over at least 2 weeks, and just run using that audience you built earlier, right? And you check in every few days, because sometimes when you're testing, one video does dramatically worse than the others, and it's okay, well, I just don't even need to bother with that. Sometimes you'll have 2 videos that are getting 15 cents a click, and then another video that's getting $1 a click, and you're oh, well, I have to reevaluate because $1 a click isn't really compelling. You know what I mean? And just as a general rule, because this is a question that gets asked a lot, if we're talking about clicks, you want to be somewhere between 5 and 50 cents on Facebook. Instagram is going to be more expensive because it's not really a click-through platform. It's more of an awareness platform, right? But I think if you're within 5 and 50 cents on Facebook, you're generally okay. If you get below 5 cents, you always want to double check that you're not going too broad, in my experience, because sometimes you get these ads that are getting, a cent a click, but instead of, the places that you're trying to actually promote yourself, you're also targeting random countries in East Asia with high populations that are never going to buy your record, and that's not really conducive, unless you're planning on touring those countries in East Asia, right? So you want to make sure that you're not going too broad. You want to be careful. It's not a bad thing if you're getting very, cheap clicks, obviously, but make sure you're not getting messy data, getting clicks that aren't really valuable. So you're ABC testing here, right? 3 different types of content. You can even test A is 1 video and then have 3 different sets of copy. B, 1 video, 3 different sets of copy. C, 1 video, 3 different sets of copy, which is another great way to do it if you have the budget, right? And so then you just let that run, and then bam, suddenly you have your really great video and copy that makes the most sense. And you can select that and just keep running it because it's been working, and you just keep running it until one day it stops working just because the audience is no longer interested for whatever reason. But but ABC testing is generally the best way to do that. Now, this is where it gets interesting in the next video.